All right, now we're doing 7Q. Hurry up, the walls are closing in. This is by DFHWZE, and 92% of people like it. So, given a list walls closing in at us, we're going to see if we can make it past the walls without being hit. The walls are going to be an array of tuples, and each tuple is basically one of these things, you know. Storing non-negative numbers representing the distance of the walls closing in at us from each side respectively to the center of the room. We're going to return the Boolean indicating whether it's possible to run past the walls or not. And then for the specifications, we're at the left side in the in the center of the room. We want to reach the right side in the center of the room. We can only move in a straight line across the room. The walls are closing in at us from both sides of the room. The walls stop once they hit the center of the room. Us and the walls will move at the same speed. If we get hit by the wall, we get hit by the wall if we are on the same tile as a wall. And if a wall reaches a tile ahead of us, we cannot make it past that wall anymore. Gotcha. And then here's some constraints. I don't really know what that is. Pardon me, but here we go. So here's the examples right here. So it's 7, every one of these walls. So each one of these is a wall, and the lowest number is how far away they are from us. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. All of them are at that level. Okay, and here's where we are. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's all the spaces we need. So this thing's going to be at like, we're going to be way past it by the time it's done. And then it's coming from this side too. Okay, so yeah, anyway, whichever one is shorter is going to be the one that we're going to look at. This one still makes it, and then so on and so forth, all right? So that's basically it. It just has to be like the smaller of these two numbers has to be greater than the index that it's at the moment. So if this is 2, by the time it starts, it'll be we will be here, and then by the time this one closes in, we'll be here, and by the time this one closes in, we'll be here. By the time this one closes, we'll be off. Hopefully all that makes sense. Anyway, so let's just do this. Here we go. So what we're going to do here is we're going to do a for loop. We're going to say for, and then we're going to let I equal 0, and while I is less than walls.length, we're going to say I plus plus, all right? And so after we do that, let's do a console.log real quick, console.log, and we're going to see what walls at the current index is, or what they look like as it iterates through. So right here, it looks like this, this, and this. For this one, it's like this, and for this one, it's like this, and this, and this, and this. And so, like I said earlier, we're going to try to figure out which one is the smallest of these. So for this one, we're going to use a Math.min right here, and it's the function that returns the smallest of the numbers given as input parameters. And for the syntax, it's going to be just Math.min and then comma separated values, right? So right now it's looking like this. Let's wrap this up in some parentheses and say Math.min. All right, let's test that out. But it's nan right now. Because why? Because it was putting in, as we remember, these are arrays going in there. So we're going to have to turn these arrays into comma separated values. So to do that, we're going to use this, here it is, this spread syntax, which allows an iterable such as an array or string to be expanded in places where 0 or more arguments or elements are expected. So for array literals, that's what, for function calls, that's what we're doing. That's what we're using it for, to turn it into comma separated values. So in front of this, we'll say ... just like that, test it out. And look at that. Now we got the mins all right here. So now let's subtract from each one of these numbers the current index, right? So let's say, is that good right there? Math.min, that minus index, like that. Test that out. All right, and see, this is how far they are when we pass by. So here's a walk in the park, easily pass. Four is as close as the wall's going to get. On this one, it's a close call because they're all 2, which means it's one step away from hitting us. Same here, and right here there's a 1, so we can't make it, right? Right here there's a 0, so we don't even stand a chance. Right here, the walls have already closed because it was a -1 by the time we even showed up. So because of that, what we're going to do is say, if this is greater than, if this number is less than 2, so a 1 or whatever, we're going to return false, and if not, we're going to return true. So let's do that. Let's change this console.log into an if statement, if like that, and then let's say this, if all this is less than 2, and then let's make the rest of it, we're going to say return false, and then down here we're going to say return true. Let's test that out. That looks good, and let's attempt it. All right, there it is, and now submit it. All right, and you see this one is doing a map method for it, and I guess that's a cool way of doing it instead of the way we did it. Here's ours right here. This one's using walls.every, and pretty much saying if it's greater than this, and it's great, they all have to be greater than this. So I guess that's cool. I'd have to look at this to really understand, but you can check out the rest. Let's go over to mine. Just me on this one, best practice in my opinion. Very much like it, and we'll see you next time.